all those people, they talking about you behind your back. They all gonna gang up on you. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your November soul session. I am Marlo. If you are new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And what's not, or whatever. Congratulations, Gemini, on you guys having the highest views last month. I can't recall what number it was, but it was pretty freaking high. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are first after Scorpio, because it's their season. So thank you for that. I sincerely appreciate it. And I also noticed the other day that my subscriber count went up. So welcome to all of my new subscribers. If you're new, you know what I'm saying? Hang out, stay a while. Anywho, if you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings, in which we look at the energies that you all may encounter for a given month for the sole purpose of giving you clarity, insight, and guidance and all that good stuff and whatnot, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards and see what is shapopping for the month of November. So first card out, we have the Page of the Cuppies. Then we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Four of Swords. So what it is looking like, Gemini, this really does look like a month of healing coming in off the bat. I do want to clarify this Page of Cups because, of course, that could be a child energy. So I just want to make sure to see if this may be either inspiration that you guys got coming out of October and into November, or some sort of creative inspiration, or if this has something to do with your kiddo or maybe even your inner child. Because with this this Nine of Wands in the reverse, that, of course, that's my PTSD card, right? But with it being in the reverse, I'm seeing this more or less as a lot of hypervigilance here, like a lot of worry. But with it being in the reverse, of course, this is old energy that we're talking about here. So this is more or less one trying to move out of this particular energy. And for some of you, I can even see with this Page of Cups as well, of how this could be, whoa, hello, a sense of self-healing or love, or it could be a love offer, Gemini. Whoa, looky there. Okay, that's fascinating, Gemini. The Lover card came out. So, of course, that card is speaking to, somebody. What is that movie? Is it 16 Candles? Is it where there's a dude outside with like the what is it, like the boom box or whatever? But that's what we're looking at, Gemini. There's more or less an offer of love that may have potentially came for you guys at the end of October, coming into November. And this would say to me more or less, Gemini is in this place where there's healing going on, because I'm still seeing elements with this Page of Cups, where this can be speaking to one's own healing journey. Like we talked a lot about therapy last month, in all the videos, because of it being World Mental Health Day last month. So, and the last month was also Emotional Wellness Month, by the way, if you didn't know. But this is more or less starting a journey of self-healing. And there very well could be a person that came into you guys' path, or, asked you on a date or something along those lines at the latter part of October. And coming into November, it's more or less being in this space where there's a level of reluctance, or feeling like things are moving too fast, or having a lack of trust for this person, where you're kind of looking at them side-eyed, you know what I mean? And I feel with this Four of Swords, there's the potential where, one is thinking a lot about past relationships or connections with people that may not have panned out the way that you had hoped. And there being, disappointment, heartbreak, betrayal, anything along those lines. And it's really not wanting to get your hopes up. This is a very specific message I'm seeing here, but it's not wanting to get your hopes up because it's not really being sure if this person has good intentions, or, if they're kind of just like everyone else that you've been through. So what I would say with this, Gemini, looking at this Four of Swords, I think something that's going to be okay. Well, Chariot in the reverse, and that is Cancerian energy. Did a Cancer, like, you know, offer y'all a little something, Gemini? Like, what's going on here? With the Chariot, that's a lack of movement forward here. What I was gonna say with this Four of Swords is I feel what is really gonna be beneficial for you guys, Gemini. And even if this isn't a love situation, if this is like an opportunity that's being offered, it just feels like there's something that comes in at the end of October, beginning of November, that has this vibe of like, you know, too good to be true almost, you know, and it's kind of triggering more or less because it's thinking almost in this vein of like, I've been here before, we've been through this before. And it's like, I don't want to go back to that type of deal, trying to focus on myself, you know, but then there's still a part of you that desires this, wants this, and is interested in it. But I feel with this Four of Swords, this is more or less speaking to me of objectivity. Like there's really a need for Geminis in the month of November in reference to whatever this offer is, whether it's love, career, business, what have you, that you really take a step back and look at the situation for what it is, you know, and not meaning what you think it is or what it could possibly be based on what you've been through past tense, but really taking a step back to relax yourself and get back to your personal truth and really tapping into your own strength and knowing that despite what it is that you've been through up to this point, yes, we may meet people that are crap people, like crap people that we've met before. However, you have wisdom, you have knowledge, you have experience, and you don't want to make a decision moving forward based on fear. Because again, I spoke about this with Scorpio, who's before you guys. A lot of the energy we talked about last month was karmic cycles that are wrapping up and how we can recreate things that we've experienced in this past cycle if our minds don't change about it, right? So it's kind of reminding me of this energy that I saw with Scorpio, where it was not exactly like them, because with theirs, it was more like a testing ground for them to stand their ground with a particular energy. And I feel for you guys, it's kind of like fear-based. You know what I'm saying? So with the Chariot being in reverse, there's the potential where one will not move forward with this just solely based out of fear, which is why I think it's extremely important for you guys to get to a place of objectivity and truth about whatever this offer is that's coming in. Because with the Chariot in the reverse, that's like, you know, screeching on the brakes, if you will. Wow. Next card that we have is the Temperance in the reverse, and that is Sagittarius energy, and that's emotional instability. Now, seeing that falling under this Nine of Wands in the reverse, how I was saying, like, this is triggering. This says to me, Gemini, there's the potential that whatever this offer is, right, this thing can become triggering, reminding you of a past situation that you've been in, even though, right, the energy, because if we're looking at the Nine of Wands with it being in the reverse, you want to look at the card that's prior to it, right? I don't know why all my readings are like tarot classes all of a sudden again. Anyway, but you want to look at the card prior to it, which would be the Eight of Wands, right? And that's forward movement, you know, that's swiftness, acceleration forward. So this is saying to me more or less that the energy that is in support of Gemini in the beginning of November, it's saying move forward, like let's go, let's move on to the next thing, right? We can take a little bit of a respite here. And it's like, yeah, everything is saying move forward, but I'm scared. So we would temporarily take a step back to kind of get clear on things, like what's really happening here? Like, is this a valid fear? You know, like, am I projecting a past situation onto this, blah, 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 blah. But the thing I'm seeing play out here is this event, this offer being triggering to Gemini, to where Gemini just like screeches, pumps the brakes, we're not moving forward. And then it causes this sense of like inner dissension, right? And ambivalence within oneself with the Temperance in the reverse. And again, I take into account the fact that these are two major arcanas, right? So this is spirit-led energy, right? So even if spirit is in support of something that, you know, we're doing, like moving forward, right? If we elect to allow our fears to gain dominion over us, then we can say pump the brakes, even though Chariot is here, it's in the reverse. So it's like Gemini is like, but the energy is like, move forward, right? With Temperance, we should be at a state or a place of balance, right? And I'm gonna say too, because of this falling here with Sagittarius being Gemini's opposite sign, so like your shadow aspects, I think it would be beneficial this month too as well, Gemini, to take a gander at Sag's reading to see if you get any additional you know, insights from that. Heck, you could look at Cancer too if you want, but specifically I think Sagittarius would be helpful for you. But there's supposed to be a transcendence of this particular timeline that you're on, Gemini, but there's like a resistance to it, and that resistance is coming from a place of fear. And then we really have to dive deeper. I don't know why I feel compelled to say this, but we have to dive kind of deeper to where is a lack of trust for what this offer is it really because of a past disappointment, or is it because this offer is seemingly too good to be true and we're really speaking to the root of something, of one feeling not deserving of said offer? You know what I'm saying? Because that's where this gets into a whole thing. I don't know if that's what the theme is for the month of November, because that's very much how Scorpio's entire reading came out with the extended and all. Is it being self-sabotatory? You know, it's like the energy is working in everyone's favor right now, like karmically, right? To where everything is pretty much set up for you to succeed. So there isn't any opposition energetically, right? But it's more or less, and this word, y'all, there's no energetic opposition, but one can create opposition where there is none, because the true root of the problem would not be that, you know, this, you know, love offer, job offer, you know, partnership, business offer, whatever, isn't really sus. That's what one could consciously be telling themselves, is that this is hella sus. This is too good to be true type of deal. But in reality, the root issue we're speaking to is that deep down, whatever Gemini person would resonate with this feels as if they're not deserving of an opportunity such as this. So one is suspicious of it because it's like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve a person like this to like me. I don't deserve, you know, a company like this to want to hire me. Like, what's the catch? You know, like, what do you want from me? And that's where this hypervigilance, I cannot talk, can't blame Mercury retrograde. That's where this hypervigilance in this suspicious kind of energy comes from. Because it's like, well, what are you up to? Like, what are you getting out of the deal type of thing? You know what I'm saying? And I feel that's more or less the truth Spirit would be wanting Gemini to get to, or what would behoove you to get to the root to this month, of taking a step back to be clear, do some self-reflection, talk to your therapist, you know, a little bit of self-honesty into if this could be possible, that one feels undeserving, right? And it's just like, oh, you know, I just don't trust blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So with this, Gemini, again, it's in support of you moving forward. And I feel a lot of the unrest and the pausing, it's more or less that's like a pattern of stuff that happens, like seeing from the Nine of Wands in the reverse, the Four of Swords, the Chariot in the reverse, the Temperance in the reverse. This to me is like a pattern that happens. Something new comes into the fold, a new offer is made, you make a new friend, whatever the case. And then it's just like, you know, why, like, what is this person up to? Why are they being so nice? Why are they being so helpful? And then it's like, oh, I remember this time in the past, this happened with this particular person, and they were trying to do X, Y, Z. And then your thoughts kind of run away with you, where it's like, oh, I wonder if they're doing this. I wonder if they're doing that. It could be this. It could be that. Oh, they're probably up to this, right? Then all of a sudden, because of the fear of this happening again, consciously you're thinking, I'm going to get away from this situation or this person. I'm going to take a step back completely, right? So it's like isolating. You know what I'm saying? There's no movement forward. The chariot only does not move forward when one is not on one accord with themselves, like yin and yang, which is like your receptivity and your action, right? So even though there was some level of reciprocity in the fact that the person made an offer to you, the offer within itself was the trigger. One went into suspiciousness, one takes a step back to get clear. There's no opposing opinions. So now it's like our scale is unbalanced, right? So now when it comes to taking action, there's a lack thereof, because what would seem like receptivity is what that thought reel is. And it's just kind of marinating on that. And our thoughts are thus going to affect our emotions, temperance in the reverse. Now we're getting like, you know, uneven emotionally. It's up and down. Maybe this will, maybe it won't. And it's just like going back and forth. It's being on the fence within oneself, but that stagnates a person. You know what I'm saying? So there's an inability to move forward because of fear, right? Because all of this is fear. Like, the offer comes in, the trigger, that's bringing up past stuff. That's old wound, right? The fact that old wound gets triggered, now fear takes over, causes anxiety and all this other kind of stuff. So this is something that you want to be conscious of if you find yourself in a similar situation this month, Gemini, even if it's not romantic. Because I mean, we do have the Lover, you know, that's a card that's all about making an offer, right? With our good old Page of Cups. So I think the energy that is the most prominent in this is 9 times out of 10 for most people, this is going to be some type of romantic offer. But I feel for others of you, this very well could be, you know, something work or passion project related. Oh, goodness. Next card that we have, all these major arcana, Gemini, we have the Hanged Man. We could look at that as, wait, oh yeah, that's the card that we said we was going to call it everything. Because I went blank one day when I saw this card and I was like, I don't remember what sign is related to this card. And some people say Cancer, some people say Pisces, some people say Aquarius. And I was like, we just going to say all of them from here on out. So, but I think Cancer is actually the most accurate with this, but heck, we're just going to call it all. We're going to say Pisces, Cancer, and Aquarius, whatever resonates. You know what I'm saying? But with this Hangman, this is more or less a testament of what it is that one needs to do, right? Because with the Four of Swords, of course, this is taking a step back to get clear, to get back to one's truth. If one can't break past, right, what these 3 swords would represent, right, that disappointment, that heartbreak, if there's an inability to get back to one's truth because your thoughts are just kind of going cray cray, you know what I'm saying? This is where with the Hanged Man, you would want to seek enlightenment, proverbially speaking, or see things from another perspective, or getting inspiration from spirit. You know, like this would be like, I need to pray about this, right? So say hypothetically, you watch this video, right? And you watch this video and you're in the middle of this process, right? Where you're like, I'm taking a step back, not moving forward. I don't trust this type of deal. You know what I'm saying? This would be hearing this and being like, oh my gosh, that's totally what I'm going through, and making the decision to like go into prayer about it, seeking guidance from spirit. Or if not taking that approach, it would be, you know, seeking wise counsel, if you will, from someone else, right? So that could be your therapist, it could be mom, dad, big sister, like whoever it is that you trust, that you would see as wise counsel, for this person to be able to allow you to lay it all out on the table of what your concerns are, like what the offer was, why it is that you're feeling a way about it, and them being able to kind of dig through it with you and offer you another perspective. Because very much what I'm seeing here, and this is like the entire first half of the month, it's more or less what I'm seeing here. It's the first couple of weeks of November being in a state of anxiousness and like unrest, and being stuck, and there being a lack of movement forward, right? But the thing I say that's extremely important is you want to make the most of these energies. And even, you know, we ourselves can be our own dark distractions. So something that would be extremely beneficial to Gemini, depending on, you know, where you're at, you know, in your journey, to where it's either you gaining insight from another person, or you really kind of going into prayer and meditation about this particular thing. The next card that we have, this is a lot of major arcanas, man. We have the sun in the reverse. That's Leo energy. So that's half-hearted happiness. So the vibe I get from this, Gemini, is this is an opportunity that's in alignment with what it is that you guys were desiring up to this point, right? So with this karmic cycle ending for all of us, this is like a proverbial like Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles kind of vibe, right? So it's something that's being given to you, that, or offered to you rather, that's in the energetic vibration of this new energy that you're coming into, right? With Scorpio, I saw there is not coming in, but it was coming in the form of another person, right? This person that I'm seeing with this offer, they're like the trigger, sort of, right? It's a trigger that puts you in a position to make a choice. So when it comes to this choice that Geminis are making this month, how it's looking up to this point, it's making a choice from the old mindset, if that's making sense. It's making a choice from those old fears, like all the things that you learned in this last karmic cycle that have held you back from what the sun card is, upright. And it's left you in a place like this, which is half-hearted happiness. It's like your life is chill. I mean, it's cool. You know, it's not too much complaints, but it's not 100% of what it is that you want. It's like you are a better, more mature version of yourself, but not fully stepping in and walking into, you know, your naked baby energy of like authentic self, like being fully who you are. And the main reason for that is fear, right? But I'm saying all of this, Gems, I don't think that you guys see it that way. It's like you see yourself as being someone who's been taken advantage of, and this is how you know to protect yourself. But I feel the reason why this reading is coming out like this is because it's showing you how, because it's almost like, and this is something I talked to a lot of people about too. A lot of people think like, you know, like God knows my heart. You know what I'm saying? Spirit knows my heart. Spirit knows I'm traumatized, right? Spirit's not going to let me miss out on something. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm traumatized. And I'm like, well, I mean, you have free will. And that's something that spirit doesn't violate, you know? Spirit just does spirit. You know what I'm saying? And it manifests into 3D. We have experiences and we make choices around them, you know? So this energy for the entire collective is in support of forward movement and balance, transcending a timeline. I told every sign last month, the only way we can repeat this prior cycle is if we elect to, if our mind doesn't change. So this is, again, like a forewarning, Gem, of showing specifically how it is one could have every intention to grow, to move forward, to change, to do different, to be different, right? To make the most of this energy and be triggered and completely lose sight of all of that because it's going into defense mode. It's like self-protection, survival, right? And not looking at the situation for what it is, being present in the moment and seeing who this person is, or trusting in yourself or the wisdom or the knowledge you gain from the cycle or your experience. And knowing that even if this person was sus, it's like what's done in the dark is always going to come to light. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like robbing yourself of an opportunity. So my advice with this, Gemini, is seek spirit or seek wise counsel the moment that you find yourself in this anxious, not trusting kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel the way that this is being interpreted by Gemini is like you're seeing it as a gut instinct, right? And I'm not saying that this person isn't like you know, whatever it is that you're assuming, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not really about that. It's like, this is more or less about you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that, especially, I'm trying not to give y'all a whole lecture on trauma, y'all. Like when they talk about gut instincts, if a person has a background like of childhood trauma or extended like complex PTSD type of stuff, it's a lot harder to know what gut instinct is versus what like a triggered fear or trauma related fear is. And that's something that of course we have to work out in therapy to, you know, learn the difference between the two. And saying it as a person who experienced, you know, childhood trauma, went to therapy, became a therapist, now a trauma specialist in therapy, you know what I'm saying? It's something even I went through, and it's very like insidious even, of noticing the difference between the two. But it's, you have to learn how your body responds, like what your trauma response is, like whether that's, you know, you hyperventilate, you start sweating or whatever, knowing what your thought reel is. And it's a difference between a trauma response and a gut instinct. Because, or even if we were to put it in the sense of an intuitive message, and that's something I went on a whole rant about, I think in Pisces extended from last month, is that when we're traumatized, right? And you have intuitive gifts, it's very easy for one to think spirit is telling you something when it's actually your trauma that's speaking. And I went on a whole rant about it in Pisces extended. I might have to edit that out because a lot of people were telling me like, people need to know this stuff. I've never, you know, so I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe everyone does need to hear that. But truth be told, that's something a lot of people don't speak about, or a lot of people don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, if a person has like intuitive gifts or psychic gifts or whatever it is that you want to call it, anything that you hear in your head, the false assumption can be sometimes that that's spirit telling you that. Like, all those people, they talking about you behind your back. They all gonna gang up on you. You know what I'm saying? That's not how spirit speaks. I can tell you that 110%. And that's a whole nother conversation of knowing how spirit speaks to everyone. It's the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain vibration of things that spirit says. You know what I'm saying? So I say all of that to say, Jim, this is something that you guys want to be conscious of knowing, you know, and that's why I think another opinion of someone that you would see as wise counsel can help you sift through this, because I feel for you guys, it would be very difficult, especially if this is something like, you know, whatever it is that has you guys feeling like this, if it's something that you've never processed, it is very difficult because the first thought is like defense. You know what I mean? And one can be justified thinking, oh, that this is my gut, this is my intuition, that spirit telling me that this person is bad, so I'm holding myself back. But the thing that you guys would be holding yourself back from is what is actually for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a need to be clear on that. It's not saying that whatever this offer is like, you know, a savior or anything, but it's just needing to learn how to experience life. Because why everyone is in the position they're in with this karmic cycle that wrapped up is it was showing us how it is we're not being ourselves. We're not living life to the fullest. We're not opening up ourselves to people based on, you know, people we've met throughout the course of our life or experiences that we had that are shadow aspects of ourselves, not understanding that, internalizing the pain, and now living as a walking wound, in so many words, and keeping ourselves away from people, situations, circumstances, places, because of stuff that's happened in the past that we've never really understood what the lessons were from that, what there is to gain from that, or just making a declaration that there is nothing to gain from that. You know what I'm saying? And it's spirit trying to open our eyes to that there's more to this story. And the story has never really been about anyone else but us, if that's making sense. And I hope that that makes sense, my wonderful Gemini. So I'm going to pull an oracle card for you all, my wonderful humans. I think you guys are going to be fine, Jim. It's just, and I know like this, this soul session is hella specific, right? So everybody and their mama may not resonate with this, but whatever this is, the main purpose of this month for you guys is recognizing your pattern. And if I may recommend a book that is really great for what it is I'm seeing. I forgot who, Dr. I can't remember her name. Is it Judy? The book is called Stop Self-Sabotage. It's a really great book, right? And in this, she talks about the like the physiological aspects of self-sabotage, and that it isn't like a conscious thought process where we're like, oh my gosh, my life's going too great, let me just torch it, right? Because that's totally not what's happening. It's a very physiological response of your subconscious trying to keep you safe. It's like, oh no, we've been here before. We got hurt 20 years ago in a very similar situation. Don't take chances. Run. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like an automatic response. So I like how she wrote the book, because I might have to link it in the description box. But I like how she wrote the book because it takes you step by step and gives you like some work. So it almost is set up kind of like how it works in therapy. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not ready to start therapy, you know what I'm saying, that would be a good place to kind of start to understand how to deconstruct that process, that when we're like reacting to things and learning how to slow down and respond, if that's making sense. So I'm gonna link that below for you guys, because I think that would be really helpful, especially if you resonate with this, and this pathology I'm explaining feels familiar to you, you know? Can I get an oracle card, please? Okay, thank you. Oh, wow. Well, if this don't speak straight to the situation, hold on, wait, can y'all see? Come on, autofocus. This is the time for you to do your job. Oh, dag nabbit. It says, let your past go. And it says, the burden of carting your past around has made you weary, dear one. It's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and it's now gone. Gemini, if that does not speak truth to power and get to the heart of the situation, my friend, I don't know what does, my dear. I'm just saying, Geminis, let your past go. This situation is not every situation you've been in before, and you have an opportunity now to really live out the life that you deserve. And I think you owe it to yourself to embrace such of a thing, my friend. So anywho, Gemini, my rising sign, that has been your soul session. I'm going over to my network and Patreon and Vimeo and YouTube members and all the places to do you guys extended, where we're going to do a week by week play out of these energies, and also give you guys a sneak peek into December. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face, and I'll see you guys sooner than later, my friends.